All right, everybody, welcome to day 5 today. Today we're doing a total body workout. You should have already gotten your foam rolling done. Now we're gonna get into quad rock with rotation. So we're getting in that quadruped position, toes tucked under, hips back, lock those hips in place. We're just gonna rotate that upper back. So you're sliding that back of that hand across the turf or the ground, and then we're reaching up as high as we can and getting that rotation. Next, we're doing 3-way adductor from a half kneeling position. So you're stepping out to the side. We're gonna drive that knee forward, then out on an angle, and then straight ahead. You should feel this in the hip flexor and the groin area. As we move on to movement prep, we're gonna get started with the quadruped hip circles. So we're in that quadruped position again, toes tucked under, and he's just gonna trace a circle with his hips. So he's kicking straight back first, then out to the side, rotating that hip and bringing it forward. We're gonna make sure we go both directions here. So the reverse, driving that knee forward, bringing it out to the side, rotating it back into that initial position. Next, we're doing world's greatest stretch. If you've been working out with us, you've seen this one before. Taking a big step forward. He's gonna put his hands in the middle, right between the 2 feet there. Drop that elbow down, reaching up to the sky. We're not getting max rotation here. We're just reaching up, like we're trying to touch the ceiling. Put your hand on the outside of your leg, and then pump that brake to get that hamstring stretch. Make sure we'll get that on both sides. Next in the movement prep, we're gonna do some wall load and lifts. We're gonna do our cut load and lift first. So for this one, the pressure is gonna be on the inside edge of that outside foot. He's gonna reach back with that inside foot and then drive that knee up so it's below 90, keeping that toe pointed up towards the sky. Let's see a couple more reps. So you can start off nice and slow and then start adding some speed to this, reaching forward with that opposite arm. One more with that reach, reaching forward, reaching back, bringing it back in. We're gonna switch, and now we're doing the crossover load and lifts. So his inside leg, the pressure is gonna be on that outside edge. Everything's up by that toe, so the first 2/3 of that foot. He's gonna load that right leg, reaching back with that opposite leg, and then think about crossing over. So you notice he reached out with his arm as well, so everything's reaching forward, driving that knee into that crossed over position. It doesn't need to be a full 90-degree turn. We're just getting that toe going towards that crossover position there. Let's get one more, adding some power. Good, keep that core nice and tight. All right, moving on to movement skills, we're gonna get started with our lateral marches here. So we're driving that knee up, that foot striking right underneath the hip. You should hear that foot hit the ground with some power there, and they're gonna take that into a lateral skip. So he's pushing out with that outside foot, covering some ground, reaching up and over, good. Taking it back, we're gonna do a crossover march. So just like we did on the wall, we're getting that triangulation of those hips. So I want that hip to rotate and those shoulders are facing me the whole time. So as you can see, his hips are starting to rotate one direction, but the shoulders face the same direction the entire time. Next, we're taking this into a skip. So same thing, we're getting those hips across, shoulders facing forward here. So we're just adding some more power. Continuing on movement skills, we're gonna work on basis support to crossover. So that basis support position, feet outside the shoulders. He's gonna have the pressure on the inside edge of his feet. We're gonna have him go to his left here. He's gonna shift over, drive up that knee, plant, and land back in that basis support position. So to start, we're just gonna do basis support, cut across, drive that knee, plant, and then reset. In later weeks, we're gonna do a continuous one where he goes over and comes back. Each time you land, you're in that basis support position. You want to think about that basis support. Somebody can come up and try to push you and you're not going to fall over. So a good athletic position, chest up, hips back. For our movement integration today, we're going to do a little bit of change of direction here. So we're setting up in this square drill. Ryan's going to start off in the middle and he's going to pick 2 cones to go to. So any direction you want to go to, Ryan, go ahead. It's going out. Then he's going to side shuffle to the next cone. Reset, walk to the middle, make sure you get good rest in between each of these. Go ahead and pick the next 2. Make sure you have a good deceleration every time you get to that last cone. All right, one more. Just get a drop step. Good. All right, next we're gonna work on continuous drop steps. So for this one, Ryan's gonna keep his eyes facing forward. He's gonna do a drop step onto an angle and then switching his feet back here. I'm gonna have him go back to about 20 yards. So you're just gonna do that continuous for 20 to 30 yards. All right, now for the mechanical drop set of push-ups, you're gonna start wrapping a band around your back as the most difficult push-up here, adding some resistance to that standard push-up position. From there, we're gonna do decline push-ups. So finding something your feet can be propped up against. The higher the foot position, the harder it's gonna be for the upper body, just adding some more weight there in that upper body. Next, we're taking this into straight flat push-ups, feet on the ground, just your standard push-up position, hands right below the shoulders, driving those elbows down there by the sides. And then we're taking it to the easiest push-up, which is with your hands on an elevated position. Again, with this one, if you're, to make it easier, just elevate your hands up a little bit more, and we'll go from there. For the reverse planks, find something that's gonna be even height that you can kind of separate here a little bit. So his feet and his upper back are gonna be on the bench. He's in a straight position, keeping those hips locked out. Don't let those hips dip at all. Yep, I don't want those hips dipping right there. We're staying nice and locked out for the reverse plank. You can add some weight up right above the hips if it's too easy for you. So Ryan will show that here in a sec. So just get into that top position again, getting that weight in a comfortable position, and then just fully extending those hips all the way. And for the split squat holds today, we're gonna do this at 3 different positions. So a low, medium, and high position, grabbing those weights, tucking that back toe under, bringing that knee straight up off the ground. So that first low position, you're just hovering off the ground. And then that medium position, bringing it up a little bit more. Top position is gonna be up with that back leg just before it gets locked out. Next, we're doing shin box rotation. So starting off with those legs in that shin box position, rotating those knees so the shins are actually making that square. He's gonna have a good posture, stand up nice and tall, and then rotate towards that back leg.